The draw at D-side for the New Saints, combined with the Barry Town result, means that it's very tight at the top. Just 1 point separating three teams.
Yeah, it was a good display on Friday evening. I thought we dominated the game, and looking back and watching the highlights and having a look at the clips that we've had done, even more disappointed than the actual evening, because I just felt that in possession, in open play, we were excellent. We stood up to the long ball. Obviously they've got a way of playing and it's very direct, and didn't really get in behind us at any opportunity apart from the goal, and I just felt that coincided with the decision that the referee made, and we probably weren't switched on at that time. But things happen in games, and they change the course, they change the dynamic of it. So overall, obviously it's a point, but we're far the better side and deserve the 3 points.
Now, whether it's wishful thinking or genuine belief, but a lot of people had written TNS off last month, but on current form, the last 4 games, TNS has picked up 10 points in the league. Druids on 9, Connah's on 8, and Barrytown United on 7. And the one thing we can say about the New Saints, Scott, is whatever dip the team goes through, then there will always be a reaction following that.
Yeah, because you look at the saying about form being temporary and class permanent. It follows suit. There's no sort of negativity within our squad or our club that when we do get a couple of dodgy results or we're not playing to our standards. The problem is we've set very high standards, and when you do sort of dip below that level, everyone starts looking up. But you look at all the other teams in the league, they'll have far worse runs than us through the season. It's just highlighted because we're the best team in the league.
And you mentioned your own thoughts on the game on Friday. What about the players? Obviously a disappointment not to get the win, especially with that penalty decision at the end. But as a group of players, this is Monday now, we're back in after the weekend. What would your insight be into their approach during this coming week?
Yeah, they were very disappointed after the game. They know that they played well. They know that they dominated that game and were the far the better side. You've got Connah's just following us around the pitch, looking to really keep us at bay and try and keep the score down. That's exactly how they defended, and they didn't really look to attack. It was just set up to stifle us. So they knew that they should have had that 3 points. They're disappointed, and they come in today for 4 days training, and then a game on Saturday that's very important. You look at where we are, where Carmarthen are. It's got a tricky game written all over it because of how well we've done the last 4 games. You said we've got 10 points from 4. For me, it's about being professional all week, working hard. We don't just allow them just to go and play football all week. It's worked up to the game on the Saturday. We're doing extra stuff that enables us to become stronger and fitter through the week, ready for Saturday. So we take it seriously, whether we're playing Barrytown, Connah's Quay, Ballow, whatever. Everything's looked at exactly the same. So we work hard today, sort of a double session today and tomorrow, and then prepare right for Carmarthen.
And going into the Carmarthen game, the New Saints, of course, will be very strong favourites. There used to be a sign in the dressing room about complacency and warning against it. As the manager, how much of an input do you have into the individual players? Say, for example, in a week like we have ahead of us over the next few days, or do the players manage that themselves by becoming focused and professional and taking to that pitch on Saturday with an attitude that says that they will win?
Yeah, there's 2 ways to look at it. If you keep hammering on about complacency, the players will just be like, all right, we get it. If you don't touch on it, then it does start to creep in. You look at games against Stenhousemuir and Bangor, 9 times out of 10 we'd win those 2 games very, very comfortably without conceding any goals. I'm 100% behind that, and if you look at those games, maybe you go into them thinking this is easy for us. Although the keepers saved a lot of our shots in that Stennis Muir game, it's down to complacency. I watched them a few weeks before, and they were poor. They were very poor. They changed on the day a little bit, and I thought they were okay, but it's down to mindset, mentality, going out there and thinking, right, this is a tough game, I'm going to do all my work and win this game. And sometimes, unfortunately, players switch off. They're humans. You see it in the Premier League, you see it through leagues in Europe where teams should win but don't. You look at Man City when they went to Norwich. How have they lost that game? They shouldn't be losing to Norwich, but they do. That's just an example. But I think, like I said, if you remind them through the week about it's a tough game, it's going to be a tough game, make sure that they don't make it any harder than it needs to be. Focus on your job in hand, get another 3 points. At the end of the day, we could be top of the league on Saturday. Through Connors Key and Barry, whatever happens there, but we could be, and that's where we need to be.
And what we saw at the D side last weekend is how the players adapt. They're flexible, the conditions, a grass surface, lots of rain, a different type of game perhaps than what we will have on Saturday.
You look at how we played on Friday night, fitter, quicker to the ball, defenders not giving them an inch. It was very good. We looked fit, we looked strong, and we looked like we were going to create and score. A few. If you look at chances actual created, but Daniel Redmond, if you're gonna pick somebody out, his ball for Dean Ebby, who would say that he should do better there. His ball for Jamie Mullen, marginally offside. These are the things that we've got in our squad that a lot of other teams haven't. Match winners, game changers, sort of. Jamie Mullen hasn't played for how long, and then comes and plays like that on Friday evening. Very good. I went through the whole team and said how well they did, and I don't like to single players out, but they're just examples of players that can change games for us and win games on their own. You look at the next 2 games before we have a break. Hopefully win these next 2 games and give the players a little bit of time off as well, a bit of downtime, because we're not playing for 2 weeks. So if they do win these next 2 games, they'll get a little bit of time off.
And you were indeed glowing in your praise of the players following the match at the D-side Stadium. But of course, 5 days' time, we take on Carmarthen Town.
Yeah.
A different game, a different approach, different tactics perhaps. So will you, at this stage, have the team in mind that you want to start with on Saturday, or are there still places up for grabs?
Yeah, there's always a place up for grabs. If you look at the week before, we changed to winning side. Greg Draper came out the side, and we brought Aaron in, we brought Jamie Mullen in. So, just because we win games, for me, we should win every single game. I go into every single game expecting to win 32 games in the season. It doesn't happen like that, but it just goes to show that we're confident, but we don't keep the same team, because for certain teams we need different approach. I thought Dean Ebby was excellent the other night, how he moved across the pitch and opened up spaces for other people. His touch and bringing people into play, and he scored. So my decision is justified the other night. So I just think that at the moment there's a couple of places up for grabs, and we'll look at that throughout the week.
And you mentioned Dean Ebby, and finally, this is the final question. You mentioned Dean Ebby. There's always a lot of attention on Greg Draper, of course. 10 goals this season, going for a 3rd consecutive Golden Boot. But Dean has now scored 7, and he's scored some very important goals, including the one last Friday.
Yeah, Dean scores goals as well as his overall play, his work rate. He's quick, he's tall, he wins things in the air, he's a finisher, he's a team player. And Greg will still get between 20 and 30 goals for us this season, and probably be Golden Boot again. Just because I don't choose him against Connors Key doesn't mean that he won't play against Carmarthen on Saturday. So it's about making the right choices. Even coming off half time, a couple of our fans were shouting, "Get Draper on," and why isn't Draper playing, because he'd have scored that goal. And I'd have a little chat. I had to bite my lip actually a little bit. I was just about to say something, and I thought, don't need to say anything, it's my choice. And then Dean scored the goal that should have got us the winner, possibly, but we got a draw. But I think just goes to show that I look at the whole big picture rather than just look at what Greg's numbers are. Greg's been a fantastic player for us, for this football club, scored lots and lots of very important goals, but You know, there's 22 players in the squad, and you have to make the right choice.